Bean Machine.
Thank you, thank you. What an amazing presentation from Meme Brains. I mean, it's tough following that, but really, brother, thank you so much for joining. Again, another round of applause for Meme Brains. So I had a presentation prepared, but I think it would be very fun to figure out how we can launch Tequila DAO. Or maybe Restaurant DAO, Accelerator DAO, what was the other? Dance DAO. What do you guys think? Maybe, like, show of hands, who's interested in Dance DAO? Okay, we got 2 people. How about Tequila DAO? We got a lot more hands. Accelerator DAO? A lot more hands. And then we have Restaurant DAO. Wow, this is tough. This is tough. Well, let's say we go with Restaurant DAO. That seemed to have a lot of hands up. So what we'll do is we'll go through the thinking that is around Tatami, a token launch platform. But we'll do it in the idea of making Restaurant DAO. That is going to be the goal. I'm going to get that domain. We're going to get that domain, sorry. So what does Tatami address? It addresses the problems of thinking about launching a token. What are the tokenomics? What kind of governance are we going to have? How are we going to distribute the token? How are we going to get funding for it? And what's great now is we already have our goal. We want to have a Restaurant DAO. And I assume for Restaurant DAO, let's try to open a restaurant. Okay? We understand what we're going to do. We're going to need some funding. We're going to need people who are interested in restaurants. Likely we want someone who knows how to cook or has done it before, some sort of expertise, or knows how to eat, right? Enjoys Michelin star restaurants when they get the Jito airdrop. An informed and simple approach to token creation. So here we go. There are presets on Tatami. Maybe there's a preset we want, a service DAO. 10% goes to the DAO treasury, 2% to the team. The rest can go to the community. Another version of a meme coin version. So we have an idea of what we want to do. It's difficult when we start going through it, trying to understand who are we going to distribute the token to? How much governance are we going to give? What we really want to focus on is how to make a restaurant, right? We don't want to sit here and have to figure out exactly the distribution mechanics. The easiest thing in the world for us is to just say, you know what, look, I don't really know what my proposal threshold needs to be or what my quorum needs to be. I know that I want to raise some money with people who are interested in this, and then we want to go and build a restaurant. And that's the idea behind Tatami, is that all of that thinking can be taken out of the equation. We need to know the name of our Restaurant DAO. It can't just be Restaurant DAO. Maybe it is Restaurant DAO. Let's say the name of our token is Restaurant DAO. So we're going to put that in token name, Restaurant DAO. Our token symbol, REST. That's not, I don't know, not great. Dinner, eat, eat token. There you go, we'll do eat. So we've now filled out our token name and our token symbol. We need a token logo. I don't know, somebody with a bowl of soup or something. Or a gyros, there you go. It has to show that its roots were in Greece. Okay, so we understand those things. Here we have curated lists. Who we get to drop the token to? Well, at Tatami, there are lists of people who are very active in the Solana ecosystem. That'd be useful, but that's probably not the best list. We don't know how many of these people have a background in eating. Maybe we can find a list of people who have expertise in running restaurants. Or maybe we're going to just want to give the control to the people who are putting funding towards this idea. Maybe that's the way to go, right? The first people who are going to be passionate about this are going to be the people who are going to put their liquidity, who are going to put their money in it. So instead of choosing a curated list, what we'll do is we'll say whoever buys the token has the governance power of it. Well, there's two ways you can raise funding. Dual finance or open book? Dual finance is a way for us to issue options, and open book is a way for us to make a trading market. So while I'm creating this, these are all the different things that you can do across different platforms. Really, both realms and squads were not made for this, but these are usually how people launch tokens today. This stuff is obviously not part of what I need to go over right now, but I'm just going through the rest of the deck because I've changed my thought on how we're doing this for each token. So we will go back and we'll focus here. So we've decided that there's two ways we can do this. Either we can do token options or we can start a market. When we start a market, we're going to have to put some liquidity in. If I do options, I'm going to have to airdrop the options to certain people. Again, I have the problem of choosing who are these people who are going to receive it. If I had a list of restaurateurs on Solana or in the ecosystem, if I had a list of chefs, that would be the best, right? Now I can give them options, and then what they can do is they can choose to exercise those options. If they exercise them, that means they're interested, they've put money. Now all of a sudden our treasury has some money. And then those exercise tokens will give those people voting rights on how we use the token moving forward. Think about how many different things I'm deciding right now on the base layer. I'm not even thinking about where the restaurant's going to be made, how many people is it going to sit, are we going to deliver food or not. We're talking about all of these other much more complicated decisions, things we haven't even gone into quorum. So for AthensDAO, I think the best way for us to do it is to have a liquidity pool. I'm willing to kickstart it, so I'll put $1,000. How many of those tokens need to go into the pool? Is it going to be 10%, 20%? How much of the ownership of AthensDAO should I put out there? You know, I'm putting $1,000, I'm putting my time to build this. I'm probably part of a team. I'll have to find other people I think will be part of the team. So you know what? On the team distribution, we'll give a higher percentage. And instead of giving them options, they'll just outright get the token. But of course, you want to make sure that the team is incentivized to continue building for years. You can't just give me the tokens right away. Then all of a sudden, we're going to sell the options. Then there's no guarantee that we're going to continue building. So maybe we have to have a stream flow vesting. Yep, that's the way to go. Now, if the community sees that, you know, we're not doing our job anymore, the team, the community can vote to cancel that stream. So, okay, we'll set up a stream, 10% to the team. It'll be me. We'll find, I would like you to be with us too, Meme Brains, right, at the team level. We got to find a chef. You know, Vashi, he loves eating food with Boyana, so you guys, you're our taste testers. There you go. We got 5 people. So those 5 people will get 10%. Then the rest, let's put them into the liquidity pool. All of it, all 90 tokens. Well, no, wait 1 second. Now we have no incentive once we've decided things are going well, right? We need to be giving people more and more governance power as we're going through, right? We want to have a resource outside of just money. So how about we keep in our treasury 40%, and we'll put 50% into the liquidity pool. Now we have our token out there, we have a market. We need to decide on voting in quorum. All of the money, of course, is going to go from the liquidity pool, from the market, into our DAO. Tatami creates all of this. Everything I'm talking about, all these decisions, are made as presets. So you can see on the first page, here we have these presets, where we say, this is how much is going to go to this direction. When you start your token, 10% is going to go to the DAO treasury. 2% is going to go to the team. I would ideally want it to be in a vesting fashion. These are all questions that take a lot of time and attention to think about. And what the Tatami team has done is already gone through ideas like how to launch a meme coin, how to launch a protocol DAO, how to launch what we're doing now, which is a crowdfunding concept. So this is one example of how new projects can use Tatami to quickly launch their token, their governance, their liquidity. You'll have a market, you'll be up and running without having to go through a lot of thinking and guessing. But it's not only a product for those who are launching a token. It's also people who want to be at the base layer of joining new token communities or also putting together these models. So Tatami as a community is always looking for new people to join it, to give those ideas. We're also trying to find the right people to be recipients of these tokens. So another presentation we had yesterday was all domains. A great way for us to pre-qualify people. Hey, how's it going, Vlad? A great way for people to be pre-qualified to be part of the Tatami Superstar list is you have a .sir. Why is that a great idea for us? Because we know that they're deep in the ecosystem if they can go through the different steps to get their .sir domain. They're part of the Solana infrastructure. They are a Solana all-star. We want those people receiving the new tokens coming out. So that's one example of how a user wants to be part of Tatami. And anybody interested in being part of the Tatami list as a recipient for airdrops, go inside. The DAO onboarding will help you join Tatami. And then the final user of Tatami is existing communities, where you want to give something additional to your existing community, which is they will be recipients right over here where we say the curated lists. We could have Bonk there. We could have Monkey DAO there. What's great from a builder's perspective is we want to be able to distribute our token. The initial holders of your token are your DNA. They're the genetics of what the community is going to turn into. What better way to choose initial recipients than those who have already been pre-qualified by other communities? If there was a super team list or a dean's list, it changes the way your entire community can flourish if you can just skip the trying to hunt down the signal from the noise. Because there's a lot of airdrop hunters and bots. What this does is it cures that. So if you have an existing community, you want to be up there. That way we can choose yours, your community as a recipient. So we're very excited that Solana had chosen to give us second place on the hackathon and the DAO track. We're also privileged to hear later from the first place recipient, PubKey. A bit about the revenue model for Tatami. There are going to be different integrations into the system. For example, I mentioned streaming payments, Streamflow. If Streamflow wants to be here, they're going to have to give us something. Sorry, militia. But that's the thinking, that there's going to be more and more tools that want to be part of this integration flow. The more coins that are launched, there's going to be more opportunity for more usage of those protocols. So it makes sense for Streamflow to consider being part of the Tatami ecosystem. Users creating tokens, as I said, each preset has a cost to it. It's not something big, 3 SOL, 4 SOL, depends on how complicated your token launch is. But again, you as the creator only need to, answer a few questions. So much of the work has already been done. But that's another revenue model for Tatami. And finally, the subscription model. There are going to be some lists where people have to pay a subscription to be on that list. Say you're not already a member of Monkey DAO. Say you're not already ApeCoin or Super Team or Dean's List. Those are increasingly becoming more and more expensive to join. But you want to be receiving these airdrops. That's another model we're going to be rolling out later next year. So we started the project in August. We're going live later this month. Next month, we're going to allow people to also modify the different presets. And then our goal is to be as decentralized as possible with the launch of the Tatami coin. As you can see from these PFPs, the entire team are Dean's List members. Shout out to George Kudu, who's next door, onboarding everybody into Dean's List and Tatami. And yeah, excited to show you guys more about what Tatami's up to. I'm going to be next door with the onboarding labs all day. And yeah, thank you for listening.